Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tuassir wa tammim bil khair. Question number 3. تأمل المثال. We have to reflect on the example. ثم هات المضارع والأمر والمصدر من الأفعال الآتية. And then we have to provide the present tense, the command, the infinitive form from the following verbs. Al-Madi, past tense, Al-Mudari, present tense, Al-Amru, command or order, and Al-Masdaru, the infinitive. Istaqbala, yastaqbilu, and Al-Amr will be istaqbil, and Al-Masdar will be istiqbalun. Istaqbala, who remembers the meaning of istaqbala? Yes, anyone here? To receive or to welcome. And istiqbal is also used for the reception. Like if you go to the hospital or to any other public place and you're looking for the reception. So the word that you will see over there is istiqbal, to receive someone or the reception. Istaghfara is to seek forgiveness. And the present tense is yastaghfiru. What will be the fi'l al-amr? Istaghfir. Okay, and al-masdar will be istighfarun. Istighfarun. Okay. Do you remember the verse of the Quran that we took using the word istaghfir? Fasabbih bihamdi rabbika wastaghfir. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, and seek his forgiveness. Ista'adda means to get ready. Ista'adda. And we know that whenever we have assimilation of the two letters, then some changes will take place. With the mudari, it will be the same. Ista'adda, yasta'iddu. But fi'l al-amr, does anyone remember what change will take place over here?
Ista'idda.
Ista'idda, excellent. Perfect, sister. So what happens basically, this dhamma changes into fatha. So whenever you have the verb, when the last two letters are assimilated, it can be al-thulathi al-mujarrad, the verb that has 3 root letters, or it can be mazid fi, and it can be from number 2 up to from number 10. So whenever you are making al-amr, what we have to do, we have to change dhamma into fatha, and we know that we drop alamat al-mudari, and then we put hamzat al-wasl before that, so it becomes ista'idda. Excellent. So as we can see over here, ista'idda. And what about masdar?
Ista'dad.
Ista'dad. Excellent. Then what happens that idgham opens up, the assimilation opens up, and then we can see because there are basically dal happens to be there twice. Here it is assimilated, but in the masdar it opens up, and it is the case with all the derived forms of the verb. Now we have naqis, right? The verb that is naqis. Naqis means the ending, either we have waw or ya, and that means basically alif maqsura. Istalqa, and the present tense will be yastalqi. It's on the pattern of hada yahdi. Istalqa yastalqi. And what about al-amr? What's gonna happen now? Istalqi, right? So basically ya will be dropped. Perfect. So it becomes istalqi. And what about masdar? Istilqa un. Excellent. Perfect. Yeah. So it's basically istilqayun, as we know that this is basically yeah we have over there. And we have been discussing this ever since we started the derived forms of the verb, that in masdar, whenever this ya comes after alif, it changes into hamza. Whenever in masdar ya comes after alif, so basically it was istilqayun. It was istilqayun. But then what happened after the changes, this ya has changed into hamza, as we can see over here. So it becomes istilqa'un. That is change number 1 that we have seen in masdar. And then the second change is also coming. that takes place in the masdar. The Sheikh has already given us a hint over here. Istaraha, to relax. Istaraha, yastarihu. And what will be fi'l al-amr? Istarih. Excellent. When we make the ending sakin, whenever we make fi'l al-amr, we make the ending sakin, we drop alamat al-mudari and we put hamzat al-wasl. But there is a problem over here. We have iltiqa sakinain. Ya is sakin and ha is sakin. Now, which one has to be dropped?
Yeah, gets dropped.
Yeah, the weak letter gets dropped. Excellent. So it becomes istarih. Perfect. And then the masdar, what happened in the masdar? We have extra ta marbuta, which takes place. When does it take place in masdar? In ajwaf. Ajwaf, yeah. When the verb is ajwaf, ajwaf means it is empty in the middle. That means that it has basically waw or ya in the middle, but we know that this waw and ya changes into alif. So whenever we have the verb which is ajwaf, then the masdar takes this compensatory, basically we call it compensatory ta marbuta. Why do we call it compensatory? What does it compensate for? Where is the compensation? Okay, so since this is the last form of the verb and we have been discussing for a long time, so I must tell you now, if you count the letters of istiqbalun, the masdar, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. How many do we have? 7 letters in the masdar, 7, okay? When you look at istirahun, it is basically, if you make it istiraha yastarihu, and it will be istirahan. When you make it istirahan, what happens? There is one alif, there is one letter that is naqis. One alif is not, one letter is deficient. So when you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it becomes 6, right? So if you make it, for example, if you make it istirahun, for example, istirahun, okay? So now count, how many letters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? Istirahun, we have 6. But how many do we need? We need 7. Why do we need 7? Because al-masdar has 7 letters. So that's why the grammarian, they say that we have to add an extra ta so that it becomes 7 letters. So that's why it is called compensatory ta or ta marbuta, which is like mandatory or compensatory, which we have to add so that we can make it 7 letters. Is this clear? Yeah, so we have istirahun, for example, istirahun. You count the letters of istirahun, how many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? Istirahun. But the masdar should have 7 letters. So that's why you can remember it in 2 ways. Number 1, if you see that the verb is masdar, if it is ajwaf, sorry, if the verb is ajwaf, we have to add compensatory ta, or you can count the letters, which is a little bit difficult, and then you have to add extra ta marbuta. Or you can rely on the teacher, and the teacher tells you that whenever you have ajwaf, the verb is ajwaf, we have to add extra ta marbuta. Okay, we started from form number 4. Can you please give me one example of form number 4 where we have this compensatory ta?
Jahada.
Which one?
Jahada yafta.
I can't hear. What about idafa yudifu? Idafatan. You know idafa, we talk about this possessive phrase a lot, yeah? Idafa yudifu, idafatan. Similarly, we have anaba yunibu, inabatan. And there are so many, like verbs like that. Whenever they are ajwaf, then inshallah you will see that in the masdar that there will be extra ta marbuta, and it only happens when the verb is ajwaf. Now istaqala means to resign. Istaqala, yastaqilu, and fi'l al-amr will be istaqil. Yeah, istaqil. And what will be the masdar now? After all this explanation, I hope you can figure it out.
Istiqalatun.
Ahsanti, yes, istiqalatan, perfect. So now we can see that we have to add ata marbuta, and it's because the verb is ajwaf. Istifada, that means to benefit. Istifada,
يستفيد
yastafidu, okay.
يستفيد
Istafid, excellent. Istafid, and al-masdar will be
استفادة
istifadatan, excellent. Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy that we have reached from number 10, we have reached the end. And at least when we have reached to the end, we are able to figure out the reason like why we have to change it into ta marbuta, or why I have to add ta marbuta over here. And it is like you will see it inshallah in all the forms of the verb, starting from form number 4, because form number 3 doesn't have like ajwaf. So that's why we talk about form number 4. Starting from form number 4 all the way to the end, you will find it to be like this. All right, so ayyin, we know ayyana yu'ayyinu ta'yinan is form number 2. Ayyin, to specify. Fil amthilatil atiyati, in the following examples. Baba istaf'ala. Bimushtaqatihi, in its derived forms. As we know that mushtaqun means derived form, and the plural of mushtaqun will be mushtaqatun. And mushtaqatihi is mudaf mudaf ilayh. Astahimmu kulla sabahin. Astahimmu kulla sabahin. I take shower every morning. Yes, astahimmu.
استهم يستهم أستهم
Astahimmu. That means it is
مضارع
mudari. Excellent. Al-fi'l al-mudari, present tense. I take shower. Excellent. Al-mudari, perfect. استأجرت هذه الشقة ب15,000 ريال. 15. We know that the numbers from 13 to 19, the numbers, I hope you remember them. From 13 to 19, they are mabniyun al-fath. So the ending will not change. Even though we have the preposition be over here, but because they are mabniyun, that's why the ending will not change. Istajartu, I rented هذه الشقة, this apartment, ب15,000 ريال, by 15,000 riyals. Yes.
ماضي.
استأجرت is فعل ماضي أستاذ.
Excellent. Istajartu, I rented, past tense. Perfect. يستمر الامتحان يومين. The exam continues for 2 days.
استمر يستمر is فعل مضارع أستاذ.
فعل مضارع, excellent. يستمر, continues, very good. استعدوا للامتحان فإنه قريب جدا. I will not give you the translation because from the translation you will get the meaning. Yeah, استعدوا.
استعد is فعل
استعد means to get ready.
في الأمر
فعل الأمر, excellent. استعدوا للامتحان, get ready for the exam. فإنه قريب جدا, as it is very near. استسلم المجرم للشرطة. شرطة, policeman. Yeah.
استسلم فعل ماضي أستاذ.
Istaslama means to surrender or to give up. Istaslama is to surrender. Mhm. The criminal, Madi, excellent. It's the past tense. The criminal surrendered to the policeman. The criminal surrendered to the policeman. As they say, La tastaslim. La tastaslim means don't give up. So istaslama means to give up, and now in this context it means to surrender. Yustahabbu al-ghuslu lil-ihrami. Istahabba yastahabbu, yes.
مضارع يا أستاذ passive.
مضارع.
Okay, mudari only. Is it mudari ma'lum or is it mudari majhul? Passive, excellent. This is passive, very good. Yustahabbu al-ghuslu. It is desirable or it is likeable to take shower. Lil ihrami, for ihram. When we wear ihram to do umrah or hajj, then it is likeable or it is desirable that we should take shower before we get ready for ihram. Okay. لا يجوز الاستعانة بغير الله. Isti'ana is to seek help. Yes.
مصدر استعانة.
Masdar. Okay. So it will be لا يجوز الاستعانة بغير الله. Seeking help other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not permissible. And isti'ana, as we can see that this is masdar. And how can we figure out that this is masdar? Maybe Tamar Bhuta can tell us that this is a masdar. Excellent. In the previous lesson, we also discussed about this, that we should not seek divine help. When we talk about the help, that means we are talking about the divine help. We should not seek other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The help of the dunya, in the matters of the dunya, we can ask our brothers, sisters, wife, anyone for help. Give me water, give me food, that's fine. But when na'udhu billah, if someone has the feeling that other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the power to help, that is shirk. And that is where, how do we know about that? What do we recite in Surah Al-Fatiha all the time? And nasta'inu is basically also ista'ana yasta'inu. It's the same verb over here, and this is mudari, and this is masdar. Isti'ana yasta'inu, and then nasta'inu, we help. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. So when we say this in Surah Al-Fatiha, then we have to stand by it. It's not just reciting or reading it. We must mean it, that we should not ask anyone else for the help other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That would definitely be shirk. Then we have ana musta'iddun lis-safari. Ista'adda means to get ready. Ana musta'iddun.
Ismul file.
Ismul file. Excellent. Ana musta'iddun lil-safari. I am ready for the travel. Excellent. Arju laka mustaqbalan zahiran. I wish you a brilliant future. I hope for you a brilliant future.
اسم مفعول أستاذ.
Excellent. Mustaqbal is ismul maf'ul, but here, is it used as ismul maf'ul? Could be, or we can say dharf az-zaman, right? For the time, something that is coming in the future. So that's why for the future the word that we use for the future is mustaqbal, right? Mustaqbal and mustaqbalun used for the future. And arju laka mustaqbalan zahiran. I pray for you a brilliant future. Zahiran, brilliant. I hope that you have a brilliant future. وفي التنزيل, and in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذ قلنا للملائكة. How do we read it? I stopped over here, so I want you to figure out. Usjudu, mashallah, tabarakallah. Usjudu, yes, because we have dhamma over here. So, and this is from Bab Nasara Yansuru. So usjudu, this is very basic, alhamdulillah. Usjudu li Adama. Adama doesn't have kasra, why not?
Tip thought.
Mamnu min as-sarf. Yeah, excellent. Yeah. Do you know the reason, like why is it mamnu min as-sarf?
The where ajam.
Ujma, yeah, it's non-Arabic, and also we can say that it is on the pattern of af'alu. Af'alu, because it is Adamu. So basically there is Hamza and there is Hamza, and then there is Dal and there is Mim. So after assimilation, it has become Adamu. There are Hamzatan over here. So it is also on the pattern of af'alu, and also this is ujma, this is non-Arabic. Fastajadu illa iblis. Iblis is also mamnu min as-sarf. It is also mamnu min as-sarf, and this is also the real name or the original name of shaitan. Illa iblis aba wastakbara. What he did? He refused and he was arrogant. Istakbara. So what kind of verb form is this? Past tense, yeah. Yeah. Aba is basically refusing the authority. So Aba wastakbara, he refused and he was arrogant. Wakana min al-kafirin, and he was one of the disbelievers. Excellent. So our focus over here is on istakbara. Yeah, perfect. And this is the past tense. Okay, alhamdulillah. Now we have here some information about the adawat, as we call them, or the the particles that make mudari mansub. How many of them we have learned already? Yes, do you remember? We have learned
Un,
harfi lan, yeah.
lan,
Okay, excellent.
kai, li,
Kai.
lam. Yeah.
And lam
Lam
mutalil,
talil.
yes.
Lam
Lam mutalil, excellent. Okay, yeah. So now we have learned
Hatta
all of
also.
them. Sorry?
Hatta also.
Hatta, mashallah. Okay, we have learned hatta as well, yeah. However, in the end, we will see that the grammarians or the ulama, they only consider lan, an, kay, and idhan. They consider them as adawatu shart, but we have learned more. We have learned about lan, an, li, hatta, and there is one more, if you remember. Small. What is, what is it? لا فاء السببية. فاء السببية. So what happens that whenever you see fa, and after fa, if you see that the mudari is mansub, that means this is fa as-sababiyya, and it also makes mudari mansub. Fatanfa'ahu dhikra. If you remember, fatanfa'ahu. Abasa wa tawalla. If you recite the whole, surah of the Quran, so you can see over here, fatan. Okay, so this is known, and then we should have fa over here, fatan fa, and then after that we have but in the Quran, if you see, it is fatan fa'ahu, and here again after fa, this mudari has also become mansub. Okay, so now mashallah, you can prepare your own list. Okay, we don't only have to rely on the 4. We have learned about lan, an, and la mutalil, and hatta, and fa as-sababiyya. You can add 3 to them, so altogether these will be 7, inshallah. Aw is also one of them, and inshallah I will give you one example from the Quran. Aw is also sometimes, it also functions as a tool of, or as a adatun nasb. It also gives nasb to the mudari sometimes. But we haven't taken any example of aw. However, we have taken all the examples from the Quran. So adrasul lughat al-arabiyyata likay afhama al-Quran al-Karima. So as we can see over here, that kay basically, and this is la mutalil, it comes with it together, they come together sometimes, so that it gives the meaning of so that, kay or likay, and it makes the mudari mansub. The word kay is an infinitive particle, yani this is al-masdar al-mu'awwal, and what happens, it makes mudari mansub. Likay afham al-Qur'ana means lifahm al-Qur'ani, for understanding the Quran, or so that I may understand the Quran. It is used with the mudari, and it makes mudari mansub. And here the Sheikh tells us that this is basically la mutalil. So which one is la mutalil? The one that comes before kay. So sometimes it is kay, it is used in the Quran, and sometimes it is used as likay, and both of them have the same meaning, so that. Kay nusabbihaka kathira. Now we can see here that it was basically nusabbihu. It was what? Nusabbihu. But it has changed into nusabbiha. Why? Because of
Kai.
Kay, yeah. So what happens, this kay changes mudari into nasb. It makes it mansub, so that we may glorify you. And here kay is basically for likay. Sometimes likay is joined with la an-nafiya, and sometimes it is joined with la an-nafiya. So if you look at the example, ijtahid likay la tarsuba. So it is basically likay, and because of likay, we can see that it has become tarsuba. It was basically tarsubu, but because of likay, it has become tarsuba. Work hard lest you should fail, so that you do not fail. And similarly, uktub raqma hatifi fil mafakkarati likay la tansai. Please note it down. This is tansai. It's not tansa, it is tansai. What was the original form over here? Come on.
Tarsubu.
Likay la tansai. Sorry. Tansayna. Anti yani. Anti. Likay la tansayna. So it was basically tansayna, and then what happens? Because of kay, because of these huruf al-mudari, the noon gets dropped. You remember? So it was tansayna. It was basically tansayna. Write down your telephone number in the diary so that you don't forget. So I'm talking to a feminine next to me. So I say likay la tansay, so that anti, yani you don't forget. If I have masculine in front of me, then what will be the ending? Likay la tansa.
تنسى.
Yes, excellent. لكي لا تنسى. So it will only take fatha. Then it will be, it was basically tansa. And then when we make it majzoom, then it becomes tansa. لكي لا تنسى, so that you don't forget. Okay. Now, how would I know if it is tansai or tansa? Of course, it depends on who am I talking to. Depending on the mukhatab that I am talking to, either I will say tansai or I will say tansa. ذهب زملائي إلى السوق لكي يشتروا الحوائج. يشتروا. What happened over here? زملائي, my classmates or my colleagues? Yes. It was يشترون. Perfect. And the noon has been dropped and it has been compensated by alif. Okay. Okay, why do we have dhamma over here?
يشترون.
It was
Because-
yashtaruna, right? Yashtaruna, right?
يشترون.
Yeah, so it is
Noon is
yashtara,
dropped.
yashtaru, and al noon has been dropped. So it will be, we will read it as yashtara wal hawaija. Now how do we read it? Yashtara wal hawaija. And you can find some examples in the Quran on this pattern where we have to read it as yashtara wal hawaija. Hawaij is the plural of hajatun. Plural of hajatun means need. So hajatun is need and the plural is hawaiju. Mamnu min as-sarf. And then we have Ya Maryamu istayqidhi mubakkaratan likay la yafutaki al-qitaru. Maryam, get up early lest you should not miss the train. Again, it was yafutu, and because of likay it has become yafuta. Now inshallah we will see the same information over here in Arabic. Istalqaytu ala qafaya likay astariha. So it was basically astarihu, and because of likay, it has changed into astariha. I lied down on my back, or I lie down so that I can relax. Kay min nawasib al-madari'i. Kay is from the nawasib al-madari, and it makes the madari mansub. Wa yusamma, and it is called harfa masdariyatin wa nasbin wa istiqbalin. And it has many names. Wa yusamma, and it is called, what do we call it? Harfa masdariyatin, yani harf of infinitive, or we can say that the particle of infinitive, wa nasbin, and the particle of nasb, and also the particle of future. So it has three functions, as we can see here. First of all, it changes the meaning into the context of masdar. Number two, it makes the mudari mansub, and number two, it gives the meaning of future. So three things will happen over there when we use all of them. It's not only restricted to likay, it is restricted to all of them, to lan, an, and similarly hatta. All of them, when we use them, then the mudari becomes, it gives the meaning of the future, and it does not give the meaning of the present. لأنها, because it, ha refers to what? Kay. And kay is kalima, that's why we say لأنها تجعل ما بعدها في تأويل مصدر, as it changes the verb that comes after that into the meaning of infinitive. It makes it infinitive. فَتَأْوِيلُ الْمِثَالِ السَّابِقِ, and then the example of interpretation is this one, as we have seen over here. استلقيت على قفايا للاستراحة. So it was basically للاستراحة, and when we change it into masdar, you know that whenever we change a sentence into masdar, then what happens? Either we use likay before it, or we use an before it, or something similar to that. So I think when you use an before it, it will be easier to understand. استلقيت على قفايا أن أستريح, to relax. And similarly, likay astariha, to relax. And if you don't use, so what is the difference between istiraha and an astariha? What is the difference between these two? The meaning is the same. The meaning is the same. This masdar has a name and this masdar has a name. I want to know if you remember the names or not. Come on. We are about to finish book number 3.
I must.
This is called al-masdar.
Istirahati is real masdar and
Excellent. Perfect.
and an astarihu is masdar mawal.
Ahsanti. Mashallah tabarakallah. Yes. So that's the difference. We call this al-masdaru al-mu'awwalu. That means interpreted masdar. Yani it's not the real masdar, but we change it into the meaning of masdar. Okay. And this is al-masdar as-sarih. As-sarih with sa, ra, ya, and ha. As-sarih means the real masdar, or the clear masdar, we can say. So this is al-masdar as-sarih. So that is the only difference between these two, but the meaning will be the same. This is the real masdar and this is the interpreted masdar. That is the only difference, but the meaning will be the same. Wal-ghalibu, and غالبيا يعني in most of the times, as we say أغلبية, majority. والغالب أن تسبقها لام الجر التي تفيد التعليل, and most of the times lam al-jar comes before it, which gives the meaning of illa, or which gives the meaning of reason. Which one is lam al-ta'lil? Over here. So it is basically kay, but sometimes we have lam al-ta'lil before it and it becomes likay. Did you get the idea? So sometimes lam al-ta'lil comes before it. فَإِن لَمْ تَسْبِقْهَا فَهِيَ مُقَدَّرَةٌ. And if you don't find lam al-ta'lil before it, that means it is muqaddaratun. What's the meaning of muqaddaratun? It is hidden. It is what? Hidden, or it is understood. Okay. So in very easy words, we will say that kay is used to make the mudari mansub. Sometimes it is used by itself, and sometimes we have li before it and becomes likay. And if you want to make negative, then we have to add la to that as well, and it becomes likay la. That's the whole thing that we are discussing over here. إذا دخلت لا النافية على الفعل كتبت متصلة بكي لا. And if la nafia enters to that, then it is written, we will combine it. متصلة, yani it is combined, or we attach it. So then when we write it, we will attach it with la, as we can see over here. So the whole construction becomes one word, as we can see over here, subhanallah. So these are basically 3. Li is 1, kay is 2, and la nafia is 3. And we combine all in one, and it becomes only one word. Likay la nahwu asri. Asri means to hurry up. Likay la, so that you don't tatakhara, get late, anid darsi, from the lesson. Asri likay la tatakhara anid darsi. Hurry up so that you don't get late to the lesson. So all this idea is clear. Anything that you would like to ask? I hope, inshallah, it looks easier, right? Everything is fine. Shouldn't be any confusion. Okay. If not, then جاء وقت للتأمل. The time has come to reflect. تأمل الأمثلة الآتية. Now we have to reflect on the examples. Li, for. Likay, for likay. Okay. So the first one is التحقت بالجامعة الإسلامية. I joined the Islamic University. Likay, so that أتعلم, I learn. So now you can see over here, because of likay, it has become mansub. It was أتعلم, but it has become, because of likay, it has become أتعلم اللغة العربية وعلوم الدين, so that I can learn Arabic language and the علوم of religion. اجتهد كي تنجح. Work hard so that you succeed. كي تنجح. So again, we can see it was تنجح, and it has changed into تنجح. So here we have likay with lam al-ta'lil, and here, what happened to lam al-ta'lil over here? Lam al-ta'lil muqaddaratun. What do we say? Lam al-ta'lil muqaddaratun. Ma manaha? It is hidden, or it is understood. It is understood that we have li over there, but excuse me, but sometimes we see it and sometimes we don't see it. قال أحمد لأخته. Ahmed said to his sister, ابحثي عن هذا الكتاب. Look for this book. في مكتبة كليتك. In the library of your college. في مكتبة, in the library. kulliyataki, of your college. Uktubi, write. And then when we connect it, we will say uktub ismahu, and write its name. Likay la tan, how do we read it? Tansai.
Tansai.
Excellent. Likay la tansai, so that you don't forget. Yeah. So now, because Ahmad is talking to his sister, so it was basically tansaina. What was the original form? Tansaina. And then what happened? Because of kay, the mudari has to become mansub. And how does it become mansub? We have to
The
drop
noon has been
noon.
dropped.
The noon gets dropped. Excellent. ذهب زملائي إلى السوق لكي يشتروا الحوائج. My friends went to the market to buy some things of the need, or some things that are needed. Okay, what happened over here? It was
Noon has been dropped.
Ishtaruna. We've just discussed it right
Yashtaruna.
a while ago, yeah. And then it changed into Yashtaru. أسرعوا لكي لا تفوتنا الطائرة. Okay, can someone translate it?
Hurry up.
أسرعوا يا عبادي, سارعوا يا عبادي, in the Quran, yes.
Asri'u, look at,
Hurry up.
hurry up, hurry up.
Mhm.
So that
So that
Miss the plane.
so that we don't miss the train, yeah.
Don't miss the
Sorry, so that we don't miss the flight or the aeroplane, yeah. أسرعوا لكي لا تفوتنا الطائرة. Hurry up so that we don't miss the train, the flight, or we don't miss the aeroplane. Okay, so tafutana, it was tafutu, and tu has changed into ta. Tafutana at-ta'iratu, so that we don't miss the train. And this is a very interesting verb. We have discussed about this in previously as well in Arabic, that it originally it means that the aeroplane doesn't miss us. Tafutana. For example, you say fatani al-qitaru, I missed the train, or you say fatatni at-ta'iratu. So the real meaning will be the aeroplane missed me. Fatatni at-ta'iratu. But the meaning in English will be I missed the flight, or I missed the aeroplane. And similarly, you say fatani al-qitaru, I missed the train. I think we can do one more exercise. ضع في الفراغ فيما يأتي لكي, or لكي لا, ثم عدل. And then after that, what we have to do, we have to change الفعل الذي يليها, the verb that follows it. So first we have to put كي or لكي or لكي لا, and then we have to make the necessary changes that are needed. Okay. اتصل كثير من الشباب بالجامعة. Many young men called the university. اتصل بي means to call, and it comes with the preposition of be. So اتصل بي, اتصل كثير من الشباب بالجامعة. Many young men called the university. Yes, what should we put over here? لكي or لكي لا?
لكي لا يستفسرون.
Istafsara, yastafsiru, istifsaran is to ask for, it's like when you have any kind of information that you need. La or likay, to ask for the information or not to ask the information?
Likay.
Yes, yeah, because they have some inquiries, yeah. Istafsara, yastafsiru, istifsaran, to inquire about something. Likay, okay, and after that, do we have to make any change?
Noon gets dropped. It's the
Excellent. Likay yastafsiru, in order to inquire, an shurut al-qabuli, about the terms and conditions of admission, or about the terms and conditions of getting or being admitted. So many young men call the university in order to ask, or in order to inquire about the terms and conditions of the admission. كان موعد رحلتي الساعة الثالثة صباحا. So what time was the flight?
Morning time.
It was morning. What time?
Morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. فجلسنا نتحدث, and we started talking. فجلسنا نتحدث, we started talking.
لكي so that we don't sleep.
So that we sleep,
We
or
don't-
so that we don't sleep.
Don't sleep.
Okay.
So, لكي لا.
لكي لا
لكي لا. Yes, لكي لا. And after that, do we have to make any change?
ننام.
Nanama. Excellent. We have to make 2 changes. Perfect. لكي لا ننام. So we started talking so that we don't sleep. سألتك أسئلة كثيرة. I asked you a lot of questions. أفهم المسألة جيدا, so that I understand the problem very well.
لكي أفهم.
لكي. Excellent. لكي
أفهم.
أفهم. Excellent. So I asked you lots of questions so that I understand the problem very well. Yeah, Giorgio. Giorgio is George. Yeah. Yeah, Giorgio. غير اسمك. Change your name. يظن الناس أنك نصراني. Because the people assume that you are a Christian.
لكي لا يظن.
لكي
ما
لا.
شاء الله. لكي لا
يظن.
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 Excellent. يظن الناس أنك نصراني. Excellent. So that the people don't assume that you are a Christian. يا زينب استيقظي مبكرة. Wake up early. تتأخرين عن الدرس.
So
You know the
that-
meaning تتأخرين. That's why I don't have to translate. Yeah.
لكي تتأخرين عن الدرس.
لكي.
لكي لا
لكي
تتأخر.
لا.
Okay.
So that we
لكي
don't
لا تتأخر.
Don't be late.
لا, what's
wait for
the, do we have to make any change over here?
تتأخرين.
hurry والسنون gets stopped.
تتأخرين.
لكي لا تتأخري. Yeah, in this lesson, this is for the 3rd time that we are discussing about it. يعني أنت تتأخرين. So it was basically تتأخرين. And then we have to drop noon because the noon gets dropped after حروف المضارع. So it becomes لا تتأخري عن الدرس. لكي لا has been used 3 times in the Quran, I believe. So I've decided that we could discuss one example from the Quran as well. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ومنكم من يتوفى ومنكم من يرد. Okay, يتوفى ويرد. Yes, please. They are past or present?
يرد. Present.
Pass.
Past
sorry,
cannot
present
take,
is
yeah,
Sorry.
isn't it?
Present. Majhul
Present. Okay, is it
Present.
active or passive?
Passive is
يرد
Passive.
passive.
Excellent. That's why I wanted to check. Yeah. ومنكم من يتوفى ومنكم من يرد إلى أرذل العمر لكي لا. And after that, what do we have? يعلم. لكي لا يعلم من بعد علم شيئا. So we can see over here from the Quran, it is confirmed that after لكي or لكي لا, and the mudari becomes mansub. Then some of you die while others are left to reach the decrepit old age, so that they may know. So the translation will be so that they may know nothing after having knowledge. So alhamdulillah, we had some very good practice. I still believe that we have 4 or 5 questions to go, but inshallah we will complete them in the next lesson. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وإياكم. بارك الله فيكم.